Have you ever heard the one about the kindergartners who hacked a computer program? I know, it sounds like a movie plot, but it's a true story. It's about a group of 5-year-olds, a mysterious friend from outer space, and how they accidentally uncovered this incredible secret about what makes us learn and create.
All right, let's just jump right in with a bit of a puzzle. Take a good look at this picture. Really look at it. You've got distinct characters, you've got a path winding through the woods, details on the house. It's a whole scene from Little Red Riding Hood. Now here's the kicker. This was made from scratch by a bunch of kindergartners.
And if you think that's impressive, wait till you see the tool they used to make it. Ready? This is it. A totally blank screen, a tiny little turtle-shaped cursor, and that's about it. No buttons, no menus, nothing. So the big question is, how in the world do you get from this to that? Well, that's the story we're going to unravel. To really get how this all went down, you've got to meet someone, a very important character who is right at the heart of this whole thing. A friend the kids just called Pipi. So this is Pipi. The kids believed he was their friend from outer space. And all through the school year, Pipi would send them these floppy disks, and each disk had a new computer program on it, like a little mystery box for them to open up and figure out together.
So picture this. It's the end of the school year. Their time in kindergarten is almost up, and the kids are just buzzing with excitement. They're all wondering, what's Pipi going to send for our last program? It's got to be the best one yet, right?
Well, the final disk arrives. They pop it in, they load it up, and all that excitement, it just fizzled. It was replaced by confusion, and, they were pretty let down.
They're just staring at this totally blank screen, completely baffled. They're thinking, this is it? This is the grand finale? It looked like the most boring thing ever. You could just hear them whispering, Did Pipi send us a dud?
But here's the thing. Their faith in Pipi was just absolute. You had kids insisting, no way, Pipi would never send something that isn't fun. And it was that core belief, that total trust, that made them think, okay, there has to be more to this. There's a secret hidden in here somewhere. So what did they do? Did they give up and go play with blocks? Nope. They got together like a team of little detectives, and they started to systematically investigate this mystery program.
And then it started happening. Little breakthroughs, one after another, in this flurry of excitement. You'd hear a kid yell, hey, the arrow keys move the turtle. Then another one shouts, guys, press 7. It's a pencil. It draws a line. And then 0 is the eraser. It was this incredible collaborative chaos. And suddenly, it clicked for all of them at once. It's a drawing software.
So just think about that shift. What they thought was this boring, empty program was actually something way more powerful, a blank canvas. Pippin hadn't sent them a game to play. He'd sent them a tool to create something of their own. But you know how it is. Once you figure out the basics, that's just the start, right? They got good at drawing lines, and pretty soon, that just wasn't enough. They started wanting to do more. Yeah, drawing in plain old white got boring fast. The next big hurdle, the question on everyone's mind was, I want to use different colors. So they started experimenting, just typing in words, trying to guess what the magic command might be. And eventually, after a bunch of trial and error, they cracked it. They typed in nuri, which is the Japanese word for coloring, and boom, a whole color palette popped up at the bottom of the screen. This was a huge win. But as they'd soon find out, every solution brings a whole new set of challenges. Yeah, first up was this problem called color bleeding. If they drew a circle but left even a teeny tiny little gap, the color would just spill out and flood the entire screen. Oops. But then came an even bigger problem. They were spending days on these awesome, detailed drawings, and there was no save button. Every time they turned the computer off, their work was gone forever. And this is so cool. Their problem actually forced the software itself to evolve. The person observing them, the narrator of this whole story, decided to help. First, he added a feature that recorded every single key they pressed and could replay it. At first, this was like magic, but trying to replay a project that took 3 days to make, it took ages. The kids got super frustrated. So he had to go back to the drawing board and create a brand new, much faster snapshot feature that could load the image instantly. The kids' needs were literally driving the innovation. So as they got closer and closer to graduation, something shifted again. Their focus changed.
It wasn't just about playing with the software anymore, or even just solving its technical puzzles. A new, much bigger purpose started to take shape.
You could feel this little bit of worry start to bubble up among the kids. They were about to leave kindergarten and they still hadn't actually met their friend from space. They started asking, "When is Pippy going to come to the kindergarten? I really want to meet him."
But instead of just sitting around worrying, they came up with this absolutely brilliant idea. They decided to take action. They said, "That's it. Let's teach Pippy about our kindergarten." They decided to make him a digital coloring book, telling him all their stories using the very software he had sent them. How amazing is that? And what happened next? Well, it was a total game changer. It was a huge aha moment, not just for the kids, but for the educator who had been watching this whole incredible experiment unfold. He was just stunned. He admitted later that even he, the guy who made the program, thought it was way too basic to create anything really impressive. He had completely, totally underestimated what these 5-year-olds were capable of. But boy, was he wrong, because now the kids had a mission. They were driven by this powerful motivation to create a gift for their friend. And they poured every ounce of their focus and creativity into their work. The art they produced was just breathtaking, filled with so much detail and emotion, telling all their stories. And that's the big lesson here, right? The light bulb moment for everyone. It was never about how fancy the software was. The real magic, the secret ingredient, was creating an environment that sparked their curiosity, and most importantly, giving them a goal that they genuinely, deeply wanted to achieve. The tool was simple, but their motivation was off the charts. This story is just such a powerful reminder, isn't it? With the right mix of curiosity, purpose, and a supportive environment, we can accomplish extraordinary things with even the simplest of tools. It really leaves you with a big question. What incredible potential is just waiting to be unlocked in all of us if only we create the right environment for it to grow?